So it's 6:05. So why don't we get started? Won't keep anybody much longer. So good evening, everybody. And I always want to say this. I actually watched The Intern last night. So I'm gonna call you all Googlers, and we're gonna do Googlish, right? Isn't that what they said throughout the whole thing?
They do, yes, googly. Yes.
Googly and Googlish. Yep. So we're doing presentation tonight by SCORE Charlotte. The Southwest region of the Small Business Center and the Union County Public Library have partnered on this event. And I just want to let you know, so Southwest region is a fairly new partner of ours, and they've got 7 centers throughout all of the counties: Cleveland, Central Piedmont, Gaston, Rowan, Cabarrus, South Piedmont, Stanley community colleges. So they are supporting small businesses. You will see Christy is on tonight from the Union County Public Library. They are a resource and a partner of ours as well. I'm Danny Fisher. I'm one of the co-presidents of the Charlotte chapter of SCORE, and tonight is Get Your Local Business on Google Search and Maps. And I know I'm looking forward to seeing this part. So far, all the Google events have been great, and we've got a couple more coming up through June. So go to the charlotte.score.org website. You'll see what the dates are, and I know Christy's got them published in the library event calendar as well. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to your speaker tonight, Deming Bass.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'm Deming. I'm your official trainer for this Grow with Google program, and I'm really glad you guys joined us tonight. This is actually going to be probably one of the best webinars you've attended in terms of being very practical and fairly simple things that you can do that's going to have an immediate impact on your marketing. And I do want to thank the Southwest region of the Small Business Centers Network. I want to thank Renee, who's on here. She's helped pull this all together with that group. Small Business Centers, if you're not familiar with them, are a tremendous resource. SCORE, if you're not familiar with SCORE, one of the best things about them, I get to work with these chapters all over the country, and the Charlotte chapter is by far one of the best. They have mentors, and they'll mentor you for free. So if you're out there trying to figure it all out on your own, you don't need to do that. You've got some amazing folks at SCORE. And then Christy and the Union County Libraries, I've always been a big fan. They've heard my stories from growing up. We were talking about in Charlotte. I used to live off Idlewild. We had our little branch was on Independence Boulevard, and they've completely changed all that area. It was across from the Service Merchandise back when we had those. And that was one of my favorite places to go to. So Christy, I'll let you, if there's anything that you want to say, we've got some slides here for you guys.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. We have several library resources that we're always excited about. One of the ones that I love is Data Axle. And that was the name change. It was Reference USA. And there's all kinds of really exceptional small business research. If you're trying to get a business going, you want to research anything in the area. So that's one thing that we do at the Union County Library. If you want to do one-on-one, we can do it virtually. Or we have people in the library. We are having people in the library since May. And that is one thing that we love to showcase, along with the next couple of slides, let you know some of the streaming resources that we have as well, which of course, I need to update that. That's our Reference USA. It's always fun to see these things change. But if you want to give us a call, you can always find us on Union County Public Library, and you can call us. And we can walk you through anything that you're trying to research with businesses in complement of what you're learning here and what you would have with SCORE. And then if you want to do some light reading, we also have several streaming content available for you, which that is our Hoopla, which you have for free with your library card. And you have some, we now have lots of magazines that you would normally have to pay for, but now it's nice and easily accessible on your device.
Awesome, Christy. Thank you so much. And Danny, thank you for you guys all hosting this. A little bit about me and just some logistics. One of the things that I like to do is to start on time and end on time, especially when it's at 6 at night, right? You got a lot to do. So I'll jump into the presentation, but you guys can ask questions in the Q&A. And I'm going to get to all your questions at the end of the presentation. So go ahead and type those in as we go through. But I think I've got some resources that'll help answer some of those questions as well. But a little bit about me, if you're wondering, who is this guy? I'm Deming. I've been a Grow with Google trainer since 2017, was born and raised, like we talked about, in Charlotte. I'm based out of Atlanta now. And I was a chamber executive up in the Research Triangle, went to NC State, go Wolfpack. and was up with the Raleigh and the Cary chambers, and then down with Metro Atlanta chambers. And then if you're familiar with Constant Contact, the email marketing system, I was their marketing director in the Southeast for 4 years. And I was also a StoryBrand global marketing consultant. So I've worked with, my whole career has been marketing and branding, small businesses, nonprofits, even up to really, really large brands that you've heard about. But really what I love when I'm training for Google and teaching this is I absolutely love you guys, small businesses and nonprofits. That's why I love SCORE. Because of the work that they do, because it's really where my passion is. And that's what I love about these webinars and these presentations, because so many webinars and so many conferences or workshops that you would go to, they are way too much information, or it's too high level, or it's too academic, and you end up taking a bunch of notes and then you don't do anything about it. And what I love about these presentations, or everything I'm going to share with you tonight, you're going to be able to go and knock out in probably about no more than an hour. In fact, some of you guys can knock this out in about 30 minutes. So this is very practical. Try to present it in a way that's very easy to understand and really inspire you to do something, because the key here is, you can read all the books in the world. You can listen to all the podcasts. You can go to all the webinars. But unless you do what you learn, nothing is ever going to change, right? So I want you to do what I'm about to teach you. So tonight, I'm going to share with you what is a business profile on Google, why it's important, who needs to be on there, why it's so important. I'm going to give you the basic first steps for creating a profile with the Google My Business Profile. This is all free. For those of you that have a profile already, stick with me, because we're going to knock this out pretty quickly, because the meat of the presentation is down here, where I'm going to be showing you how to manage the information. And more importantly, I'm going to be taking you on a tour that's going to showcase some of the latest features and a lot of things that most business owners, or most people that even have a profile, have no idea that they can do. And the best thing about some of these new features is that we've created tools and features that allow you to actually sell your product and service, attract customers, book appointments, all of that, have them come in to your place, all from the search page and from Google Maps. So they don't even have to go to your website if they don't want to. And then finally, stick around, because at the end, I've got some really good resources for you. We were talking about this with Danny on some of this. Again, free resources that are going to help you be a better marketer all around. And also, I've got a special link for up to $150 in free Google matching ad credit. So if you ever want to try an ad campaign, it's like $150 in free money to thank you guys for taking an hour out of your busy day and joining us. So with that, let's jump right in. And let's talk about, so what is a business profile on Google? So business profile on Google, this is a free tool, and it's basically, the way I like to explain it, it's almost like a mini website that you get to edit, you get to control and update, that shows up on the search page and on Google Maps. And it's designed to help you find customers within a very hyper local area. So think about this. Most of your customers probably come from a 30 to 40 mile radius of where you're located, right there in Charlotte or Monroe or Union County, right? This is going to allow you, when people are searching for your product and service or your company locally, for you to show up and all of your most important business and nonprofit information show up on that search page on Google Maps, where they can then immediately start doing business with you. That's what a profile is designed for. Now, it's important to understand there are only certain companies that are eligible for the profile. If you have face-to-face interactions with your customers and they come to a location, they come to your office, your restaurant, your storefront, in any way, your retail operation, you need to have a Google My Business profile, and it needs to be updated and updated regularly. Same thing, if maybe you don't have an office, you don't have a place where people can come to you, but you do go out and you do go meet with people, meet with your customers within a service area, that you also need to have this profile. But the profile is not for, like, you can't, if you're a real estate agent, can't, put up homes for sale, you can't put up your Airbnb. And if all you do is just simply sell products online, like at just Etsy or online commerce, then you wouldn't be eligible for a profile because you don't have that face-to-face interaction. And again, this is driving people to you locally or letting people locally know you will come to them. So that's a good way to think about it. So what does a profile look like? This is sort of an anatomy of what the Google My Business profile would look like on a smartphone. So this is where you are able to put your own photos up of your products and services or your storefront. You can put up to a 30-second video. And again, I'm going to show you all this in detail tonight. You put obviously your company name, customers can leave reviews. There's an overview section. You can have a description of your business. You can have quick links for how can people right from search in Google Maps do business with you. You can click to call, click to go to your website, click to get directions. How many times are you looking for, where's a great restaurant nearby? And so this allows you to show up on Google Maps so people can get directions to your location. And how many times have you been, looking for hours of operation, right? Especially with COVID, this has been really helpful when you have, sometimes places are closed, sometimes they're open, sometimes the hours have changed. These profiles are perfect for communicating in real time those changes. And the reason this is so important is that when you have up-to-date business profiles, and by the way, this is what it looks like over here on the right, if you were on the search page of the laptop or desktop, when it's up to date, you're much more likely to be considered reputable and people are going to want to do business with you. Also, think about how many times you use Google Maps now. So people are looking for those local products and services near them that they can run to real quick, or they can go by or pick up, or they can have people come to them. And again, that's why you want your profile. It's all hyper local, right? You're looking at things like proximity. So when somebody's walking on their mobile phone and they're looking for a tailor nearby, the one that's the closest proximity that has the most complete profile is going to be the one that's most likely to show up. Okay. And again, the other great thing about these profiles is they look great on all devices, smartphones, tablets, laptops, desktops. The reason this is so important, and this is also important for your website, you want it to be mobile friendly, mobile responsive, because over half of all traffic now is happening on mobile devices or smartphones. Over half of all sales are happening on mobile devices or smartphones. So having an up-to-date, complete profile allows people in that quick moment when they're just quick, they're ready to search for something, they type it in and bam, they can find your information and start doing business with you from the ease of their smartphone. Okay. So how do you get started? There's a couple ways to get started. Number one, if you were to go to search right now and you typed in your business name, you may see a profile show up for your business or for your nonprofit. And it's already started to be created. And if that is your business or nonprofit, you're going to see this little button down here that says own this business, claim it now. And you're going to click on that, and then it's going to start the process for you to claim that business profile. Okay. Now, for most of you, though, you don't have a profile and you're starting from scratch. You're going to take this route. And by the way, as I walk you through this, this is basically the same route, the same steps you would take if you were trying to claim your business. So to create your profile, you're going to want to go here. So I want everybody to write this down. By the way, make sure you're writing down notes, because that's how you learn, when you write it down. But this is where you go. You go to google.com/business to start the process. Okay, google.com/business. You go here to this link. When you go there, oh, and by the way, this is an important part. So you'll go to there, start the process with your profile. Just like with any of Google's products, you do have to be logged in your Google account. Now, what is a Google account? Well, if you have a Gmail, the Gmail email is usually your username, and you have your password that's associated with that username. So remember that. And when you're logged into your Google account, usually you can see up in the top right corner, you'll see a little circle that has your initials, or in some cases it might have your photo. That's when you know you're logged in. And when you're logged into your Google account, you can go in and out of your profile at any time, just like you can go in and out of Gmail or a calendar or Docs or Drive or Google Photos without having to log in and out. That makes sense? The reason this is important is I want you to remember, if you're creating this profile for the first time, just make a note of what that profile is when you logged in, because that's how Google is going to attach you and know that you are the person that is meant to edit and update and manage your profile. So to get started, you simply type in your business, the name as you want it to appear on Google. As you start typing in the name, you may see a drop-down menu. You're going to want to click on that drop-down or click on that name if that's your name. And you want to take a second here and just confirm that, yes, this is exactly how people are going to be searching for your business, right? Vince's Village Cobbler. If I'm an LLC, you probably wouldn't put Vince's Village Cobbler LLC because people probably wouldn't know that, but just think about how it's on your business card and your branding and all of that. Next, you're going to want to choose a category. Now, this is where you want to choose the category that best fits your overall business. If you've got a bunch of different categories, hold off because you're going to be able to do that later. I'm going to show you how to do that. But when you're first getting started, you're first creating this, type in the category, find the category that best fits your overall business. Again, it'll probably show up on the drop-down menu. You'll click on that and click next. Then it's going to ask, do you want to add a location that customers can visit, like a store or office? This is for everyone out there. You've got an office, a restaurant, a location where you want people to come find you. This is all about Google Maps. This is all about your PIN showing up on Google Maps so people can get directions to you. You're going to want to click yes. For everybody else who does not have a location, you do not have an office. Maybe you work from home, but you do not want a pin placement at your home and you don't want people showing up Saturday night at midnight knocking to do business. You're going to click no. And I'll get back to you guys in a second. But if you want to show up on Google Maps, get directions, you click yes. And then it's going to ask your address. So you put in your physical address here. The important thing to remember here, it's got to be a true physical address, okay? You can't put in an address and say, like whenever I'm driving up from Atlanta to Charlotte, you know, the Big Peach, right, in Gaffney, South Carolina, right? You don't put, I'm at this building across the street, across the interstate from the Big Peach. Can't do that. It's got to be a true address because this is how they're literally getting those directions to your location. If you have an office or a suite number, you can click add line and you can add that here. And then you click next. And now it's going to ask you, okay, got location, or people are going to come to you. Do you also serve over here on the left? Do you also serve customers outside the location? If you do, click yes. And that's going to take you to this screen to the right, which is where you can add in, okay, here's all the other areas that I do business with my customers. So you can actually go in and put up to 20 cities. So you can put Monroe, you can put Matthews, you can put Pineville, right? You can put all of those up to 20 cities. Same thing with zip codes. And that's how people are going to know like where you're going to go out and meet with them. Now, for all of you guys, going a couple slides back, you said, no, I do not want to show up on Google Maps. When you click no, this is the option that you're going to have here. So you're not going to show up on Google Maps. There's not going to be a pin placement at your house. But when you put in the cities and the zip codes, it'll show kind of the area that you serve in that area. And again, the more local you can focus, and, you know, again, I like about 30, 40 mile radius, the more successful you're going to be. Then it's going to ask for your phone number and your URL for your website, because this is now, it's going to give people the option to click and call you, again, directly from search and maps, or to go to your website. Now, if you want a free website, here's a little teaser. You want a free website automatically built for you. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit as we do a deep dive. So you'll click next. Most of you guys probably already have a website, so you'll click next, add that in there. And then it's going to basically confirm that you are truly the one that's going to be managing the listing. Click finish to finish, except you are not finished, because the second most important part is that Google needs to verify that you are a real business at that real location, trying to fight all the spammers and the bad people in the world, okay? So there's a couple ways to do that, but the way that's going to probably be offered to you for almost everybody is a postcard by mail. When they say postcard, It's really more of an oversized, like perforated envelope, but with a big old Google logo on the cover, okay? Watch for this postcard. It says here that you'll get it in 5 days. Things have been a little slow at the post office. It could be 5 to 14 days, but look for that. Just big old Google logo. It is not trash. It's not cheap direct mail. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Do not throw that away. And I'll explain why. On this page, you're going to want to put the contact name of who you want that to go to. It's probably going to be you, but maybe you have somebody that gets the mail for you. Put their name in. For all of you guys that had already put in the address because you wanted to show up on the maps, Google Maps, your address is going to show up here already. For all of you that did not want to show up on Google Maps, at this page, this is where you put in your name, and this is where you want to put in a physical street address of where you get the mail. And this is where it could be your house address. And again, when you put it on this page, it's not going to show up in Google Maps. Word of not caution, but just to let you know, you cannot put in a PO box or like use a UPS store. So if you normally use that for your business, the workaround is to put your home address where you actually get the mail, because we can't verify real businesses at PO boxes. So we'll talk about that. And then you click mail. Once you put your address, make sure it's all correct. We'll click mail. Down here where you see verify later, this is just if you don't have a business open yet, but you know it'll be open in the next 30 or 60 days. And I'll talk about that here in just a few more minutes. But for you guys, once you have this in there, you click mail and then watch for that postcard. Do not throw it away. When you get it, you'll open it up and it's going to have a verification code, little pin number. And you go back to google.com/business, you type in the code, and you're completely 100% verified and you're up and running and on your way. Now, this is where, for all of you that have profiles, I'm going to start doing a deep dive and showing you how to make money, okay? When you go in and you create this, and now you've clicked, you're ready to be verified, but you're not verified yet, you can still go in, and this is what I want you guys to do if you're doing it tonight or tomorrow or this week. You can still go in and edit and add all the information you want while you're waiting on that verification, okay? So you're going to click continue, and you may even start seeing prompts that are going to prompt you or pages so that you can start filling this out. So here's an example. You can go in and start adding all of your different services, and there are services that you can select from. You can create custom services. But here, this is a big point that I want you to understand. Think about, what does Google do? And we talk about this in my other webinar about SEO and websites. Google's customer is the person doing the search. So Google's job is to try and provide the person doing the search with the best, most relevant information that they're looking for, right? If you get that in your head, you're going to be really successful in marketing online. So what's happening here with this profile, it's just nothing more. It's just another form of a search engine, right? So the more information and the more descriptive information that you fill out on the front end of this profile, this is going to put you leaps ahead of your competition. Because 90% of the profiles out there, people go in, they create it, they throw up a couple of words, and then they never come back and never do anything. So from this point on in the presentation, if you use this as like a checklist and you go through, and again, you can do a lot of this in about an hour, but you just go through and you add your services and you do everything that I tell you to do, your profile will have way more content and useful content. So your profile is going to show up before your competitors. So again, think about all the services that you add. So we're talking about Vince's Village Cobbler, man, they're putting in everything from matching dyes, which I don't know anything about shoes, conditioning, heel repair, right? They're really going deep, and I want you to go deep as well. And you'll click save. Now that's in there. The other thing that you want to do is to add your business description. And again, this is also for nonprofits. So take some time to think through exactly what you want that description to be. And it's got to be fairly concise. You've got 750 characters, not words, characters, right? So you want to get right to the point, because when on your profile, when people are looking, when it shows the description, it's only going to show the first top 2 lines or so of the snippet. So you want that to really capture immediately what it is you do and how you make your customer's life better, right? So Vince's Village Cobbler jumps right in. Like, what do we do? Just don't be clever, don't be creative, don't be cute. It's just bam, right? Repairs of shoes, bags, and beyond. Have your items repaired from anywhere. Get started with a free quote. I love this, like very, very much to the point. So you're going to want to do the same thing, and you'll click save. Then I want you to take some time to go through and collect, and a lot of these are probably on your computer or on your phone. Think about, try to find 5 to 10 photos to get started. Photos that really bring your company or nonprofit to life. These can be products, services, pictures of your storefront, pictures of employees. This could be your logo. And you can also add up to 30-second videos. But the important thing is when you put your photos up there, a lot of times people will create a profile, they don't put any photos, and there aren't any photos, so people will wonder, is this a real business or not? Or customers can leave photos as well, and sometimes they're not the greatest photos. So go ahead and put your photos, add your photos up in there, and take that time to do that. And then you're basically going to be able to continue editing this while you wait for that verification. Now, this is how you manage your information. This is the dashboard. This is what the dashboard would look like. So when you're going in, now you've created it. Now you're going to go in and edit it. All of your editing, and this is what I'm going to take you on a tour on, everything that you're going to want to do is going to be over here on the left-hand navigational panel. And then in the central part of this, it's going to be probably a lot of prompts or current event type things, like especially lately, it's been like, here's some tips to help you in COVID, right? Here's some things you need to think about, ways that you can use your profile to connect with customers when maybe your physical location is shut down. This is constantly changing, but this is going to help give you ideas and ways to think about how you can make your profile better, okay? Now, again, make sure, I know we've got a couple of questions in here. Make sure you ask your questions, and I'm going to get to them at the end. But I want you to you can do a screenshot here, take this. This is going to be a great bookmark for you. This is our support page, specifically for our profiles, Google My Business. Great. If you have any really technical questions, like you've got issues, like I need to transfer or claim something, I'm having an issue claiming something, you can go in here and literally, because we're a search engine, type in your question, and it'll take you through the step-by-step process of how to solve it. And a lot of times it has like video tutorials. So really, really good stuff for you to go in here and go back to over and over again. This is going to help you out, but I'm going to get to your questions at the end. All right, so let's talk about how do you manage your information. So again, when you come to the dashboard, this is the home tab up here, and most of your business information is going to be edited in the info tab. And so I'm going to walk you through this. And again, this is where you go to google.com/business. Again, once you create your profile and you're in that Google account that I talked about earlier, this will automatically pop up for you. Let me show you something pretty cool. Another way that you can edit your information and update your information is, as long as you're in that Google account, anytime you go, you can go to Google search and type in your business name like you see up here. You can type in Vince's Village Cobbler, and the search page will come up, and it'll have the ads and all the organic search results. Your profile will show up over here, but down below these ads, you'll see this little box that allows you to quickly see what was the interaction with your profile, right? And you can click to edit. You can click to create a post. We'll talk about that. You can add photos. You can respond to reviews. You can do all of this from the search page. Isn't that cool? But don't freak out, because you're the only person that can see this. Okay, because it's tied to your Google account. Everybody else, when they're searching for Vince's Village Cobbler, they're only going to see the normal ads and the organic search results. So this is another way for you to manage your results and quick. Okay. All right. So now let's dig into the meat, and this is where the rubber meets the road, and we'll show you the magic of how you can start doing business and actually creating sales and getting customers from your profile. So if you need to go back in, this info section is where you're going to make most of your basic edits. If you need to ever go back in and edit your name or change your name, maybe you have a name change, anything like that, you go to info and you can edit your name. Same thing with the category. Remember, you choose that primary category. You remember I told you hold off on additional categories. Well, once you've created your profile, now you're waiting for the verification, or after it's verified, this is where you can go in and I want you to add additional categories, and you can add up to 9 additional categories. And again, the more categories you put in, the more descriptive you can be, the more likely you're going to match up with what people are looking for. If I'm Vince's Village Cobbler, I have 10 categories, and there's another cobbler where they created the profile. They just have the overall category and they never filled out the rest. Which one do you think is going to show up first or higher when people are searching for a cobbler, right? So I want you to do this. And again, I'm telling you, because we've got, you're the smart people on this webinar. Think of all your competitors that are not. This is how you start getting a leg up on your competitors. Also in the info tab, if you ever need to edit or change your business location, you go to business location, and this is where you can edit it here. Also, a little secret, a little tip a lot of people don't know. You can go to the map, see back here, the map where it says drag pin to reposition. Sometimes when you put in that physical address, the pin placement may not be exactly where you want people to go, right? It might be somehow showing up kind of across the street or kind of not quite where the parking lot is. So you can go in and you can grab that pin placement and slide it over to exactly where you want it to be. And then the service area, we talked about this, but this is where if you want to add service areas, again, you can have up to 20 locations, whether they're cities or whether they're zip codes. This is where you'd be able to go in and make those edits. The next things that you want to do, this is really important, confirm your business hours. Go through each day of the week. Think of each day of the week that you're open for business. Confirm those hours of operation that you're open. But don't stop there. I want you to go through the entire year, and I want you to think about all of those holidays where you may or may not be open, right? So if you're open on Christmas Eve, you're open on Easter, Memorial Day, put that in there, confirm those hours of operation. Now, I want to show you a new feature that a lot of people don't know about. We created this during COVID to help, but think about how you can use this moving forward. When COVID happened, a lot of businesses were forced to shut down their physical locations and do business differently, including hours of operation. Well, once you put in your normal hours of operation and you've confirmed that, you have the option to add more hours. And these are going to be hours for special things like takeout, delivery, right? Kroger, Publix, Food Lion, all these places, they have senior hours. You can add senior hours. So you can add all these different special hours for COVID, but also moving out of COVID. Okay, now the short name. This is really cool that, again, a lot of businesses don't know about. So you have the ability to create a short name that makes it easier for you to share your profile. So once you have your profile up and running, you want to market that, you can create your, go in here to info, go to profile short name, and type in your business name. It'll be clumped together like you see here, Vince's Village Cobbler. And basically with the @Vince's Village Cobbler, you can put that on your print information or put that on online information, and that link will then take them to, that's a way to take them to your business profile. Next, again, all of this is still in the info. If you ever need to change your phone number, edit your phone number, you can do that. You can also have up to 3 phone numbers on your profile. And also the website, again, you can, if you ever need to change your website or URL, this is where you'll do that as well. And again, I'll talk to you about the free website in just a little bit. Next, and again, this is all in info, but next, and this is something, again, a lot of businesses never get around to doing. If you do this, you're going to be standing out. Attributes are business details that relate to your business or your nonprofit that makes you stand out in some way or makes you connect with certain customer groups. So you could be a Black-owned business, and that can stand out. You could be veteran-led, women-led, and again, these are just 3 examples. But also things like accessibility. Are you accessible? Are you wheelchair accessible? Things like, do you only accept cash? Do you only accept credit cards? Go through, look at all the attributes, and literally check off all of the ones that pertain to your business. And again, that's going to make you, all of this information is making you stand out from your competitors that don't do this. We already talked about the description, the importance of the description. Again, you can edit it here in the info tab. And an opening date. So if you're not open yet, this goes back, remember where you had that option, verify me, get the postcard, or verify later. If you're not open yet, but you want to go and get this process started, that's where you would click verify later. And under the info tab, you can put the date that you're going to be open and then be verified later. All right. Now, this is where you start seeing some of these options, or where you can literally start making money from your profile on search and maps. So without people ever having to go to your website. And if you think about it, there's a lot of times where in the moment you're just looking for something quick, and you don't always need to go to a website. You're just looking for phone number, directions, right? Maybe a website, and you go to the website, but a lot of times you're just looking for that quick information around you, right? That's the beauty of the profile. So you will have the ability under the info tab, you can have an appointment link so that people can just see, yep, I'm trying to think, what's a good example of a company, but you're a consultant or something. Maybe you're doing taxes, right? People are wanting to do taxes. Taxes, yep, there's a tax person. Yep, I see all this stuff on their profile. Yeah, I want to schedule an appointment to talk and find out. So you'll add your appointment link, and then people can click through and schedule their appointment. Now, also, depending on the category that you put in, you could see this option down here for bookings. So people can book online classes, they can book estimates, they can book appointments, and this works through a bunch of different third-party apps that you see over here. I guarantee you, whatever third-party app you use to book appointments now is going to be available. So again, people can book without ever having to go to your website. The post tab, jumping up here to post, this is worth its weight in gold. The post tab allows you to post updates at any time about your business, what's going on in your business. A lot of people, a lot of businesses and nonprofits use this during COVID to explain how to do business. Things have changed. But let me go through the 4 different ways you can post. And this is literally where you can start making sales from your profile. And remember, all this is free. It's all free, not paying for it. I always say this is like free advertising to me. 4 types of posts. What's new is going to be, it's just what it sounds, right? You're putting information, you have a new product, a new service, you hired somebody, you're moving to a new location. That's a post that allows you to put that up on profile in real time to all of your customers. The product post allows you to put an image. And by the way, all of these you can put images, and also all of these you can put up to 30-second videos. But you put an image, your product, you have your title of your product, a description, and look down here. You've got a buy now button that you can link to literally to your shopping cart page. And people from your profile, without ever going to the website, see, ooh, I like that necklace. Bam, I'm going to click and I'm going to buy it. Okay. Similar to that, you've got offers. So you can make offers, images, a headline, description, and then have coupons or codes that from now until, May 11th, 2021, you're going to get 50% off. And then events. For any of you guys that have events, you post that information, and then people can book and register for your events. With the posts, what's new in product, this is going to drop off after 7 days. It's going to disappear because Google wants you to have new information, but more importantly, you don't want to forget about it, post it, and have all sorts of bad information, old, dated, outdated information. So those will drop off. So remember that, and you're going to want to keep posting for products and what's new. For offers and for events, these are going to stay up until the date of the offer or the date of the event. What I would highly recommend you do starting off is to make a post once a week, a product or what's new once a week, have offers and events. That's a really good sort of cadence to get started. A lot of people though during COVID, when their physical locations were shut down, one of their lifelines was posting products every single day and selling those products online. Down here, we get to photos, see the photos tab. We talked about this earlier, but if you ever want to edit or add photos, this is where you would add those photos. And some tips for photos, you guys know this, but just make sure that they're focused, right? They look good, they're well lit, they're not grainy, they're not too shadowy. Make sure that they highlight your features that showcases your brand. It could be your storefront. It could be, you know, big name brands if you're selling something. You can have your logo in your cover photo. And here's the thing, this is going to make you stand out from your competition. In addition to photos, have up to 30-second videos of your product or your service, or you talking about your company. Again, that's going to make it a little bit more dynamic, and it's going to make you stand out from the competition. Next, you know, we had the bookings, right? So now, depending on your category, you can have products that you can sell, okay? So again, doing business directly from the search page and maps. So how does it look on Google? This is what it looks like. You got your name of your company, you've got images of your product, a description, and people can learn more about your products. And you can simply upload your photos there. So those of you that have products, that was awesome for you. For those of you that provide services, you'll also have this option down here for services. And again, you go in, tell them what your service is, put the price, put the description. And again, people are very quickly able to see and do business with you in terms of what it is that you do. Okay, now I've been teasing you about this one. So we've been talking about a free website, if you want a free website. So down here at the very bottom, you'll see a little tab that says website, okay? What's happening is as you're going in and you're putting in your information for your profile, behind the scenes, Google's taking all that information and they're creating a website template that looks like this. And you can't really see it. If you were to scroll down, you'll see images and things like that. But this is just the top. It's creating a template based on the information that you put in. So if you want to go take a look at it, you go to website and it pulls up and you have the ability to edit this website however you want. So see over here up in the middle here where it says themes. So see, as you're putting in, for example, we're asking, what's your business name? Business Village Cobbler. What are your hours of operation? Open till 6. Where are you located, right? How can, you know, what's your phone number? So it's pulling all of that. So this will be in here. With themes, you can go back in and you can change the colors to match your branding. You may not want purple, right? Because that's like East Carolina purple. We would much rather have NC State red, right? Maybe not. You may not like the font. You may want to change the font. You can edit the text. You can go in and edit any of this text. There's copy text down below. It'll automatically pull, depending on what your category is, it'll pull some example photos that you can use for free. So if a cobbler, it might be a picture, just a random picture of shoes. You can go in and add your own photos into the website. And again, you can make it, create it however you want. And the way that it's free, you can always click to publish. You'll create your URL, which will be your name with these little hyphens. And the only difference between a free website and the ones you would pay for is instead of like a .com or .org or .edu, it's going to be .business.site. So it'll be Vince's Village Cobbler .business.site. But you always have the ability to go in and buy like .com or edu, and you can go to Google Domains or buy GoDaddy or any of those, and you can always, you know, forward or redirect to whatever URL that you want. So that's pretty cool. That's sort of your free website. Then down here, you've got reviews. Now, how important are reviews to your business? Those are like really important nowadays, right? So this allows you to go in, and by the way, when you get a review, you're going to be notified immediately. One of our best practices that we recommend is that you go and you respond immediately. Tell them how much you appreciate them as customers. And when you do that, they see that, that's going to build that brand loyalty, and they're going to be more likely to tell people about you. But to build up really good 5-star reviews, it's not rocket science. But to get started just right now, I want you to write down on a sheet of paper your top 10 best favorite customers. Maybe it's 10 friends that have done business with you. And when you get your profile set up, ask them to go leave a review. And one of the ways that we've made it easy for people to leave a review, and you can do that now and then do it anytime you provide a great customer experience, is you can create, remember that short URL we talked about earlier? This link right here, g.page/ your URL /review. When you use that link, it's going to take people directly to your page to where they can leave a review. So you're going to want to make this a part of your regular occurrence. Again, start with 10 names. Right after, send that out. Because I'm telling you, if you look at a lot of profiles, especially for the smaller businesses, they don't have a lot of reviews. And if you have 10 5-star reviews, you're off to a great start. And then every time you have a good experience, ask them, can you go, can you leave? And you'll build that up over time. Another great tool that we've created is if and let me go back for a second, you can download a free Google My Business app on your smartphone. You can download it from Google Play, App Store. When you download that on your phone, you can do a lot of cool things. You can take pictures and post immediately, but you can also set up text messaging. So when you think about your profile and they have that option to click to call or click to get directions or click to go to your website, here it'll be like a click to message. So they'll click on that. You can create over here on the right an autoresponder that pops up, hi, how can I help you? And then they text you what it is they want. And it goes to your smartphone and you can respond immediately. So this is great if you're a real estate agent, you have those quick appointments. Hey, can you meet tomorrow at 3? Yeah, absolutely. Don't worry, they're not going to see your numbers, so they're not going to be able to stalk you. So you don't have to worry about that. And if you end up having too many texts, which could be a great problem to have, you have too much of that going on, you can always turn it off. So you can turn it off and turn it on. Now, this may sound like a lot of information for you to do, right? But like I said, honestly, if you go through this as a checklist, you can knock this out in about an hour, okay? And get a really robust profile. To stay up to date and to post and to check reviews and to update photos and all that, if you want to, you don't have to do all of this on your own. You as the primary owner can go down here to the bottom where it says users. Click on users, and you can assign other people to do work on your profile. And you can assign different roles. So as the primary owner, you can do everything, including shutting down a profile, transferring ownership of that profile, okay? But you can assign somebody else as just an owner, and they can basically do everything except shut it down and transfer ownership. And then you may have other people like here, Alessandra's a manager. You may have like a marketing person. You're like, I don't want them to really play around with too much, but you know what? You're in charge of posts, you're in charge of photos, you're in charge of responding to reviews. And you can literally check off what roles you want them to play. So that helps delegate the authority. So once you do all of this and you've created and you've gone through all of this on your profile, you're verified. And once you're up and running for 2 or 3 weeks or a month, I want you to start getting familiar with this Insights tab, okay? Because the Insights tab is kind of like Google Analytics for your profile, if you're familiar with that. This is then capturing all of the engagement that you're getting from your profile, and you'll be able to learn about your audience and what they're doing business with you with your profile and if your profile is working. So going into Insights, some of the things you can check are what you see here. You can see direct. So basically what this means is if I'm Vince's Village Cobbler, you'll be able to see, look at all the people, I had 65,000 searches that came to my profile, okay? And of those, you have this many which were direct, which were people that knew they were searching for Vince's Village Cobbler, okay? Discovery means they didn't search for Vince's Village Cobbler, but they were searching for cobbler near me, right? And then branded, and I don't know a lot about shoes, but branded would be, what are some fancy women's shoes? I don't know. Or like Magnani's or, I don't know, Nike. He seems to be more fancy shoes. But anyways, that's the point, right? People are searching for brands. His profile pops up as the cobbler, and they go to to his profile. So this is a great way to literally start seeing how much business and opportunity you're getting from your profile. But in addition to that, you can find out so much information, and I really encourage you to just go in and explore. You'll find out what are the words, the search queries, what are the words or the phrases they're using that brought them to your profile. Did they find you on a smartphone? Did they find you from a desktop? What all did they do? Did they call you? Did they click and go to your website? How many text messages did you get? You know, one of the cool things about if you have a pin placement and people are getting directions, well, it's going to track where are they coming from. So you'll have this cool little heat map showing you the areas of town or the community where most of your people are coming from. That's pretty cool. And you'll see the photos that they're interacting with as well. So knowing that information, you can see what's working, what's not working, and make some really smart business and marketing decisions based out of that. All right. So next steps as we wrap up, and then I'm going to get to your questions. I want everybody to go to google.com/business. If you don't have a profile already, go there, and I want you, this is where you're going to create that profile, okay? For all of you that already have one, you can go there, and I want you to use everything as a checklist and make sure you filled in all of those gaps and take advantage of some of those features you may not have known about. If you do create it, again, request that postcard and watch for 5 to 14 days. Get it, don't throw it away. Go in, add in your code, and then you're going to be up and running. And then in the meantime, again, just fill out all of your information that you can. And I'm telling you, you're going to have a profile that's better than 90% of the profiles that are out there. Then I want you to think about making it a habit, and it doesn't take a lot of time, 15 minutes a week, 15 to 30 minutes every 2 weeks. Go through and review and update. Make those posts, have a post at least once a week. Update some photos, like some photos, make sure you're responding to reviews, and then look at that insights tab and to see how they're finding you and see what you can do to take advantage of that. All right, so wrapping up, let me give you some really cool free resources that are going to help you out. And then we'll get to your questions. One is you can download this free Google Primer. Love this Primer app. And this is going to give you bite-sized 5-minute lessons of how to be a better marketer and how to be a better business person. These are awesome. 5 minutes, they're fun, kind of little quizzes you can take, and you're going to learn how to do deep dives and all sorts of great things. So this is great. Get off social media, right? Social media just drives people crazy. You don't learn anything from it. When you have those extra 5 minutes, Primer is awesome. If you're a visual learner like me, and you've been sitting here, Deming, wow, this was great, but oh man, that went a little fast, and I want to see how somebody exactly creates a profile. You can go to YouTube, and we have a series of what we call quick help videos. And this is going to show you literally somebody creating a profile from scratch. And then there's tons of other videos too. You can even, while you're at it, learn how to create a YouTube channel. And I think that's one of our future webinars. We'll talk about YouTube and video as well. Again, any technical, if you got really technical stuff, this is the place to go. This is where you can bookmark it. I'm going to send you guys a copy of this presentation and the recording, so you'll have all this. This is going to be like a really technical question. It's going to be really helpful. Same thing. So our support page, go there. Thank you guys for taking time out of your busy night, especially here in the evening. And as a thank you, this is what I promised. This is your link. If you want to get access to up to $150 in free Google matching ad credit, you can go here. And again, I'll send you, you can do a screenshot now if you want to go get it. But I'll send you the presentation and the recording. And then we're always looking for success stories. So if you heard something tonight, you're like, wow, that's great. I didn't know I could do that. I'm going to try it. Or you've had success in the past with profiles or anything Google, let me know, because I share that with our marketing team, and we literally go out and do these cool little stories of local small businesses. And I would love to have, I want small businesses from North and South Carolina instead of all these like small businesses. Like Benson's Village Cobbler is a real customer that we use. Eastern like New York and California, I want some Carolinians in there. And if anybody needs help with like, oh, this is great, but I need professional help, always happy to refer or recommend or share with you Google partners that have been vetted. So with that, I'm going to open it back up. I'm going to open up for the questions. I think I'm going to open questions here. And I also see there's some in chat, but I open questions, and Danny or Christy or anybody jump in if I miss anything.
All right.
And let's see. Okay, so this first question is from Nate. Regarding the location, can I start a profile to build reviews and go back later to add or edit a location when I get a building? The answer would be no. No, because you've got to have the location first, because Google's got to verify you're a real business at that location. So you're going to have to do that first. When I was talking about verify later, or, that's where you have a location, you have the building, but maybe you're not open for a couple of months, but you got to have that physical location. Debbie says, I have a Google site that I thought I claimed, but at the bottom of my page, under the phone number, it states, own this business, claim it now. Is this because I did not verify your business? No, the way that you know if it's verified, you remember the dashboard that you go in and you have the navigational panel on the left, you'll see up at the top, if it's not verified, it will say that it's not verified, but you should be verified. It should be pretty clear about that. Oh, and Nate said the question was answered before I did it. I know this is extremely specific. This is from Alicia, but has Google linked with stay list for bookings? So I don't know, but that's where, again, most of any of those third-party apps, they're probably going to be, you're going to be able to use that. And again, I would go to the support page and Google that and see. But I bet you can find an answer there. Let's see. And questions on buy now. Are there any? This is tricky because people keep asking questions and it keeps bumping down. So questions on buy now. Are there any fees that you pay Google? Nope. You're just linking. You're just creating that buy now button that links to your shopping cart. So any fees that you pay are just going to be the normal fees that you would pay. You're not paying Google anything. All of this is free. And then guest on appointment links. So yeah, Debbie's got a lot of great questions. I use Google Calendar. Can you share how to incorporate that link? You should be able to just take the link that people would use if they're trying to book with you and just copy that link and post that right in there. Anne's asking the $100, the free advertising credit, is there a time limit? No. Once you create you create a free account in Google Ads, and then they'll drop it in, and there's no time limit to that. And then, so Nakia is saying, I tried Google My Business last year, but they said Google My Business did not have an e-commerce feature. So is the part where you sell products and services appointments separate and within search, but not in the online profile? So I think the way to answer that is, again, like I said, you're only eligible if you have a location people can come to you, you have that face-to-face interaction, or you do go out and you meet with customers in an area. So just because you can sell those sort of products and services, like I mentioned, and you have those options to show up, you still need to sell that in face-to-face interaction. So it can't be just completely online. For that, that's where you would stick with your traditional SEO and your traditional websites. And, a lot of times we have people, they sell online and local. And then they're like, this comes up a lot. Well, can I make my region? You remember how you have 20 locations? They were like, well, can I do like Atlanta, Nashville, Philadelphia? So you're taking up the whole East Coast. And I tell people you could, but again, think about this. This is really on top of what you're doing to really focus in on those local customers within 30 or 40 miles, right? So the more tight you can make that and the more local, it's going to be better. And then Alicia's saying, if I don't see what's new products, offers, and events, how do I get those items? You should see those. Again, you should, if you go on that left-hand panel, you should see a post tab, and that's where you would be able to go in and see that. Okay, Maria's asking, how do I market in a city I don't live at? Where do I add the city I want to market? So again, it's going to be where you live, because you're going to be meeting with those customers within that service area. So you really can't do that. That said, if you have multiple offices and you do have people that are meeting, you can have multiple profiles for your business at different locations. The key's got to be a location that people can come, or you have somebody there that meets face-to-face with customers. And Jana's asking, I'm trying to add veteran, the veteran led. So this is the attribute, and you can't see where I can add that option. That's interesting. So that would probably be one where I would punt you to the support page. You should be able to find that in there. I don't know why that would not be an option. So these are great questions. Okay. And then are there any in the chats, or did I get that, guys?
No, I see one in the chat from Barbara. If you have a website, should you also get a free website to optimize Google ads?
So probably not. You know, so the thing there is, if you have a website and you've had a website up for some time, you want to focus on that. It doesn't help you to have multiple websites because you want to drive as much traffic to the one. Plus the website that you've already had up for a while, depending if you have had it up for a while. You can, that's going to have a certain amount of credibility and history. So that's one of the signals that Google's looking at when they're looking at, best, most relevant websites. So if you've had a website for 20 years and then you discard that and you create this free one just because it's free, it's not going to help you with SEO. So I would stick to the one.
I do not see any others.
All right. Well, good. Well, I love, and you can, if you want to put it in the chat, I always like to ask people before they sign off. Number one, did you learn something? You can tell it, did you learn something? Did you have fun? And do you think this is something that you feel confident that you're going to be able to go and to do? Because again, like I said at the beginning, we want to make sure that we're communicating something that's fairly easy and understandable and that you can actually do in a fairly short amount of time. Because anytime you get too much information, you freeze up and you don't do anything. And if you don't do anything, nothing's going to happen. So I always love to hear that. And love to hear, what are the wow things, or those moments, or those things that you didn't know you could do and now you could. Those are always cool to hear as well. So this is great. Well, guys, thank you. And Danny and Christy, and I want to thank Renee, if she's still on here, for the small business centers, the community colleges, and just all of you guys for helping to pull this together. And we look forward to one. I think we got another one next month.
Yeah.
We have a couple more lined up, and again, you can go to the Union County Library and look at their calendar. We've got them on the charlotte.score.org. Take a workshop, and I know that the small business centers have it on all 7 of their calendars for all their community colleges. So
Yeah.
you can sign up for them.
And it is directly on the library website, front and center.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. It was great. Thanks, Deming. Thanks, Christy.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye.